Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? I hope we're doing well. My name is Maury,
And I'm Lucas.
and this is the very first episode of Big Baby Gays. Yay! Are you
Yeah.
excited?
Yeah. Hopefully it's not gonna be trash.
That was very hesitant.
Because the last attempt was
Oh,
absolutely trash. That's why.
I wasn't sure if we were gonna mention that or not.
Everybody knows that everybody always takes like 3 or 4 tries. It's fine.
Sound more enthusiastic, man. You just sound sad.
I'm tired.
Be less
I'm
tired. Be
always tired.
awake.
I'm always
You
tired.
know, same, but fake it till you make it, am I right?
Good point. So, to start us off, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What advice would you tell your younger self?
Oh, first off, being gay is not a sin. Just get that out of
Yeah.
the way. It's okay. It's okay to be gay. It's perfectly fine. Um, you're gonna fuck up, and it's okay because there's nothing you can do to fix that.
Yeah. I know for me, I think what I would tell myself is, you're not going to be able to please everybody,
Oh,
you
okay,
know,
yeah.
because at the kind of person that I am, I have always had a hard time with that. I've always tried to please everybody,
Hmm.
do whatever I can to make them happy and not worrying about myself.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
because of that, my mental health has declined really badly. And
Hmm.
I think I'm glad that I realize now that it doesn't matter what other people
Yeah.
think. What matters is that you,
You're
yeah,
happy.
like that you're happy, you're in a good
That's good.
place.
Yeah. And a little side note for myself. You know that one girl that you're friends with? Yeah, get rid of her. She's toxic. She's gonna fuck you up.
Oh,
That's it.
I thought you were talking to me for a second. I was like, wait a minute, who?
No, I'm talking to myself.
Gotcha. So, something I think that should be talked about is labels. In this
Oh,
community,
yeah.
everything's always put, on some kind of label, whether that
Hmm.
be, hey, you're either gay, you know, it's just everything
Hmm.
has some sort of label, and, in some way, I think that allows it to be, like, used against people.
That's true. Yeah. Should we first explain what we identify as?
That's a good point. In case you haven't noticed from our profile pictures, we both have flags
Pictures.
on our profile pictures. Um, I am bisexual, and
And I am pansexual.
very, very similar, but slightly different. Bisexual
Actually,
is,
very different.
it's very commonly mistaken to be the same.
Yeah.
Bisexual is when you like two or more genders. That typically ends up being either male or female. However, it can be, any other different combination of gender.
Hmm. And pansexual, to put it simply, is just the attraction regardless of gender. So it means I don't care what someone's pronouns are. You could identify as a chicken nugget. And if I like you, then that's it. That's the end of the story.
That could make a really good, pickup line. Like, oh, you identify as a chicken nugget? I'm going to eat you today.
Oh no. Oh no. That's too spicy for me.
It
I
fit,
could
though.
never
It
do
would
that.
fit.
It would, but you say that like I have that kind of
Oh,
confidence.
I know you don't, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying, for any of
you
you
can
out there
have
who want a
one.
nice pickup line and you find somebody who identifies as a chicken nugget for some flying fuck reason, there you go.
We don't judge here. Be nice.
No. No, yeah, I'm
Oh,
just
everyone
joking.
is
But,
valid. Yeah.
you know, as I was saying, though,
Labels, yeah.
everything's identified by labels. I
Yeah.
think a lot of times people are afraid to come out to people because of those labels. And I think
Hmm.
that also allows, such a negative, you know, emotion to be associated with it.
Hmm.
A lot of
I remember it.
times I feel like people, will be like, oh, oh, you're gay. Like, no, like a bad thing. It's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate when people use gay as an insult. I'm like, why? Like, what's
Yeah.
the point? Um, I will say, that's another thing for both bisexuals and pansexuals that like one of the things that a lot of people say is like you're just confused. You're either straight or you're gay, and that's
Oh
not
yeah.
the case.
Yeah, I had a
Like you can be both.
yeah, I had a friend who is gay, and he literally was like, "Oh, everybody who's gay always starts out bi," and I'm like, "That's
No.
not the case at all." Like,
Yeah.
and I think in the LGBTQ plus community, that can typically be found like where everybody's like, "Oh, they don't know what they want. That's just
Yeah, they're
them. They're still
confused.
deciding."
Hmm.
I really don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
It is possible to like both genders,
Yeah.
or
And there are
you know what I mean.
several.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Two genders, several
Yeah,
identities. But yeah. I remember when I was first trying to figure out like where I stood um like in the community. I was not 100% sure. I was like so confident for so long that I was bi because I was like, yes, men, women, love them both.
yeah,
And then I found out about like all the other gender identities and I was like, ah, shit.
yeah,
And then I eventually ended up deciding I was like, you know what? I'm pretty much okay with anyone.
yeah,
Like I have taste, I have a type, standards, but I don't care about
yeah,
pronouns.
yeah. See, I personally I don't understand the like I'm not against the other genders, but
Yeah,
I
no,
just
no, no, no,
personally
no.
don't understand it.
Yeah. We are both cisgender. We have never been through that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And so because of that, I think for me there is a little bit of like, you know, oh, you're like for me I like males and females. That's just
Hmm.
my personal choice.
Hmm.
And I think because of that and because I don't understand all of that, I think
Hmm.
that also allows me to be partly kind of discriminative in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's not an intentional discriminative, but it is
Yeah.
kind of there at the same time.
And it's something you can definitely like overcome
Oh
and work
yeah.
through. Like 100%.
Yeah, and I definitely support
Of
anybody who
course.
identifies not as male or female.
Hmm.
I definitely support that. I personally don't understand it. And
Yeah.
my personal thinking is that if I don't understand it, I don't think I will like be able to fully support it.
Well, not like fully support it, but
Well, but like I do kind of mean
you,
fully supporting because I mean, if you don't understand it all, like there's no way you can really be fully supportive and understanding of it.
well, it's not like you're gonna like discriminate against them, be
Oh
like
yeah, no,
you're
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. But that's what I
That's what
mean
I
though.
was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like I don't
Yeah,
think
no.
there's any real way unless you truly understand it to fully be able to, you know, support them like to the best of
Yeah.
your ability.
Hmm. Absolutely, yeah. Um, like I said, we're both cisgender, and while I have never had to um like deal with questioning my gender identity, I will say I have had both trans and non-binary identifying friends and one who's gender fluid. So, like especially hearing their points of views, like it was easier for me to understand where they were coming from.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But also this is gonna sound like really weird, but non-binary people, I love how they can just pull off anything.
Oh yeah.
Like literally anyone who's non-binary is just drop dead gorgeous because they're both like the perfect mix of feminine and masculine most
Yeah.
of the time. And it's just like, oh my gosh. But yeah.
Yeah. So, I have a question for you.
Hmm.
What, in your opinion, does the LGBTQ plus community mean to you?
Oh, that's a really good question. Um, to me, it's sort of like a safe space. Like we were talking about how labels can be bad. I feel like the labels can also be good
Hmm.
because then now you have these people who identify the same as you and you feel like supported and you can feel um like you're not alone.
Yeah.
And I feel like the LGBTQ community like really creates that sense of like we're in this together. It's not just you
Oh yeah, absolutely.
because people are being more open about it now than they were in the past, and people are starting to be more accepting of it.
Yeah, I definitely think over time it has been more common for people, to like
Yeah,
come out to their friends, family, just to their community.
absolutely.
And I frankly love that. I love that people are starting to feel a little bit more comfortable to do that.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I do, in a way, I also am a little bit saddened by it. And the
Yeah.
only reason is because I feel as though they shouldn't have to make the progress, you know?
Hmm.
Like, I
Yeah.
feel like that it should have always been to that
Been
point.
like a, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That really does truly suck. And if especially if you do come from a family who has not been accepting, or if you have friends who are not accepting of who you are, like after you've come out or whatever, like I don't like I sympathize for you so much. I can't imagine being in that situation.
Yeah.
Like it must be terrible, and I'm like I would never want to be in your place, but you just remember that like there is a place for you. There are people out there for you. You just have to find them first.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be your family. You can let them go.
And I think one of the things that I've always kind of liked about the idea of friendship is
Hmm.
that, in a way, if you think about it, friendship is almost like creating your own family, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you all are really close, like family. Like my
Hmm.
best friend, um, I mean, you know him,
Yeah.
but he, I mean, I think of him as a brother.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
love the fact that you can create your own little families within friend groups, and if they're your safe space.
Hmm. You just need to find the people that will accept you
Yeah,
for you and will stand by you, like without feeling obligated to, but because they want to.
yeah. And I think if that's part of the reason that I like friendship family ideas too. Like,
Hmm.
in a way, I feel as though, I mean, I personally know, like, my family loves me. I know.
Yeah,
But
of
at the
course.
same time, I can't help but thinking they also feel obligated, you know?
Of course. Absolutely.
Because,
There's always that doubt.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's always that doubt. And, with friendship, they can leave when they want to leave. If they,
Yeah.
if they don't like the way you talk, if they don't like you, they'll leave.
Hmm.
And, yes, that's sad, but at the same time, at least you know that the people that are being your safe space, at least you know they're there for you, not because they felt
Yeah.
like they need to.
Hmm. For sure. For
And I
sure.
think like anybody who has, like these friends that are really toxic, I feel really sorry for you.
Yeah.
Like I
Hmm.
think everybody deserves to have that one or two friends at least that,
That are like actually
yeah, that are
real.
actually there, that understand, that are there for you,
Yeah.
not to get any kind of
Having,
thing from you.
yeah. Having grown up with only three friends and two out of the three being really, really toxic and manipulative, I totally understand where people are coming from. And it is hard, like really, really hard to get out of those sort of situations. Like I didn't escape from these people until they had left, not because of me, but because of like family situations and whatever. They either left the area or we just like lost contact or whatever. And it wasn't until after we stopped talking that I realized
Yeah.
all of the red flags. And I like it is so hard to walk away from a relationship like that, but believe me, if you see those red flags, I don't care how long you have been friends. I don't care how long you have known this person. I don't care if they're your family. You need to get them out of your life because it is not worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know about this. I was in a 3-year relationship that
Yeah.
recently got broken up.
I loved
Um,
her.
yes, but now, as I'm thinking back on it, there were a lot of things that I
Yeah.
just didn't notice. You know, it from an
Yeah,
outsider's
we
point of
had
view, it could have been very toxic.
yeah. Well, I didn't really notice anything, but some of the things we discussed after you guys
Yeah,
separated, I was like, why?
and
Why would she
yeah,
think
it's
that, you
it's
know?
stuff that's kind of like in the background too. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
It's
as public as people make it out to be.
hmm
And
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times, you know, if you have someone that comes up to you and says, you know, hey, I'm a little bit worried about like how this person is treating you, you know, respect that,
hmm
like listen to them. I
Yeah.
guarantee you that something that they're saying will be true,
Yeah.
unless they're a manipulative liar, and then don't believe them. But most of the time they're not.
At least listen to them.
Yeah, at least
Like,
listen to
take
them.
into
Yeah.
consideration like what they're saying and then ask yourself, like, is this happening?
Like I had people while I was in that relationship say, you know, hey, this is a little bit toxic, you know. I,
hmm
you know, I didn't really listen to them. And as
hmm
I'm sitting, you know, sitting here now listening, like actually thinking about it, and it just a lot of what they were saying makes sense.
For the most part, though, she was a good person.
Yeah, it,
She was a very nice person.
yeah,
It was just like what was going on.
yeah. It just, you know, stuff happened.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I
Are
mean, it
you
wasn't.
feeling better now at least?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm
That's good.
something I personally believe is in a relationship. If you truly love somebody,
hmm
if you all end up breaking it off, you will never get over the fact that you love them.
Yeah.
What you get over is the fact that you're not together.
hmm
That's what I believe. Because I think if you
Absolutely.
truly love somebody, you will love them
hmm
forever. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you didn't actually love somebody, like those feelings would have gone
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think for me that is an experience that I really think did change me, you know. It
Yeah.
it brought a lot of clarity to the way I think.
Yeah. And it's a learning
Oh
experience.
yeah, absolutely. Life is just one big learning curve. If
hmm
you know, everybody fails, everybody falls down. You just got to get back up,
hmm
you know. And
Yeah.
I know it sounds cheesy, but like
No,
it's
it's
really true.
true.
It really is true, you know.
hmm
Because like I went,
People are gonna listen to this and be like, what the fuck are we getting into?
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. So, um, but yeah, I mean, when you think about it, like it does make sense.
Yeah. Even from the good relationships, you can learn pretty much
Oh,
everything.
absolutely, yeah.
hmm
And I do definitely think there is a benefit in a way. I'm not. I'm in no way saying that toxic relationships or friendships are a good thing.
No, no, no,
No
no, no,
way am
no.
I
But
saying
you
that.
can
But
definitely
there's
learn from
definitely an
them.
advantage to having it, you know,
Yeah.
because you learn
I
a
would,
lot about what
yeah.
to like, what
Look
those red
out
flags are. You
for.
know,
Yeah.
uh, it helps you realize sooner. You know,
hmm
like this is not something I want to get into. It helps you realize what your
Yeah.
values are, especially.
And I will say after I left those relationships, like I realized I was worth more than they were making me out to
Yeah,
be. Like I didn't realize my self-worth until I left those relationships. And
yeah,
even then, like I still have like the lowest self-esteem ever, and I don't think I'm worth much. So you can imagine how bad it was when
yeah.
we were like still talking. But yeah, like I hope that they learned from what they had done to me, like how to create a better friendship.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely. And
I'm like, it might have messed me up, but I definitely learned from it as well.
I think at some point, everybody, at some point in their lives, everybody has been that toxic friend. you know?
Hmm. Even
And
if it's for a little bit.
even if it's not intentional, I mean,
Yeah.
that, like, as I'm looking back, like, on my own life, I've realized, there have been some times where I really wasn't the best friend to some people. I was
Hmm.
really kind of pushy.
Or
You
you
know,
could have just acted better.
yeah, I could have just acted more like their friend and not,
Yeah.
just someone that was there. And
Hmm.
I mean, everybody goes and does that at some point in their lives. It's just
Absolutely.
the way of life.
Hmm.
But I definitely do think if you can realize that you're doing that and work to fix it, that is when I think you really become a good friend. You know?
Yeah. Hmm. It's just a bunch of trial and error. That's really all it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
And in the same way, I mean, like, sexuality is the same way. You know,
Yeah.
it it is literally a big game of trial and error.
Yeah.
You
Like I said, I thought I was bi for a while, and then I
yeah,
realized, hey, that's not right.
and for 17 years, I thought I was, I was
Straight.
straight for 17
Yep.
years. And then I realized, oh, no, I'm not.
We all came to that realization and
Yeah.
we're like, oh, oh,
Yeah, you're like, oh shit.
what
Yeah.
happened?
I know. I don't know about you, but I personally, like, I never thought that I would be gay. I was very homophobic towards myself because I've
I
always
was,
thought, like, if you identify as this, you're not, like, everybody's going to hate you. It's such a bad
Mhm.
thing.
I was homophobic towards myself because I knew I was gay and I just tried to repress it.
Yeah.
Like for years, I convinced myself that I was straight, I was not gay. And then, like I said, I figured out that it's okay. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gay.
I do
I'm very gay.
remember, I actually completely forgot about this, but you reminded me a couple of years ago.
Hmm.
Um, actually, no, it was like 5 or 6 years ago or something like that. Um, I remembered I went to this one concert and there was this really hot dude there,
Hmm.
and I was sitting there with one of my friends, and I was like, "I'm not gay, but," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Like, don't think like that. Don't think like that.
yeah.
Don't think like that.
Well, and
Yeah.
I literally told him, I'm like, "I'm not gay, but he kind of hot," and I was like,
It's the
"That
fact
makes
you have to
sense now."
clarify.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I do
Yeah,
think,
it's
like, go ahead.
uh, honestly, it's really funny to me how young I was and I knew I was gay.
Yeah,
Like I was like fucking 4, 5,
that's
and
something to think.
I was attracted to like girls and women. I was
Yeah,
like, yes.
that's something to think about too. Like, I think everybody has to realize not everybody realizes at the same time,
Yeah.
Like for you, you realized at a really, really young age, whereas me,
And it was like, no.
like, yeah, like for me, I realized when I was almost a full adult.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that it's always different. Every story is different.
Hmm. And you can definitely are young. It's
Oh,
not a thing where you are just confused. Like some people, yes, they are confused, or like I've seen situations where it's like your friends are realizing and expressing themselves, which makes you question yourself, thinking, "Oh, do I have to be like them too?" And that's
yeah.
not the case. But not all young people are confused.
And I think that a lot of that kind of goes into stereotypes as well. You know,
Yes.
I
Hmm.
think a lot of times, just when you hear the word gay, what do you
Hmm.
think? You know,
I think same gender love.
but well, yes, but I mean, like, from if you were an outsider of the community,
Hmm.
like, you would think probably like, oh, they're just mentally challenged, they're weird,
I
I
think you mean like the toxic side of the outsiders.
yeah, but I just mean, like, a lot of times stereotypes are put on this
Yeah.
community, and it's because of that toxic area of, the just the straight community. It's a lot of
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were still talking. I thought
No,
you
I
cut
was
out.
thinking.
No, my father, I will say he is like quite transphobic, and like one of the stereotypes that he has put on like trans people and non-binary people and just pretty much anyone who isn't cisgender is that they are either doing it for attention or they're mentally ill,
Hmm.
which neither is the
Yeah,
case.
neither are true in any
Hmm.
way.
Yeah. And of course, like he was pointing out like the situations where people think that they're trans and then they realize that they're not and they try to like go back. And it's like, yeah, you do have situations like that, but that's not
That's not
always
always
the
the case.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know, like, for a lot of people, I feel like the stereotype of, like, being gay or lesbian, I think those
Hmm.
are the two that have the biggest stereotypes, I feel like.
Hmm.
Just because those, I think, are the most common, like, to be noticed.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
like the most common stereotypes for like gay men is that you act feminine.
oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like most people, it's like you see like a feminine looking, sounding, or acting man, and you're like, he's gay. But of course, you have all the masculine, like men
Yeah.
who are gay. And it's like,
And I think some of
hello.
it, if,
Sorry,
like, if
hold
it's
on.
with.
I'll see. Okay. Love you too. I am so sorry. My dad walked in as I was wrapping up, and I was like, oh,
As you were what?
as I was wrapping up what I was saying.
Oh.
I was like, oh my gosh, did you hear any of that?
Yeah, that always makes me paranoid. Like,
Hmm.
you're like, how long have you been standing there?
Yes, it's like, was I talking loud?
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you saying?
Good question.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
so
that's
I
what I was
was.
saying. Um, I think with you know like gay men, I feel like while you were talking about like it being like feminine and all that, you know,
Hmm.
I think in a way, if it's like if it's your friends kind of talking to you, and
Hmm.
they're like kind of just joking around, that's okay
Hmm.
to a certain extent. And I mean, we'll get that's a deep rabbit hole that I'm not going to get into right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think a lot of times there are the stereotypes that are associated like with gay and lesbian. I think
Hmm.
that's when it gets really bad because everybody's like, oh, you're acting so gay, you're acting so lesbian,
Yeah.
and it's literally just because they're not afraid to do what they want you know
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are so afraid to do what they want
Hmm.
because of fear that they will get judged. And
Hmm.
apparently it's now a stereotype that if you don't care what other people think, you're either gay or lesbian.
Really?
That's what I've noticed, at least.
That's what I like. I haven't really noticed that, but I will say, that like going along with the stereotypes of like if you're like proud and loud, like I don't feel like people always associate you to be lesbian or gay or anything like that.
I just feel like it's
But
commonly associated.
I feel like when people are like loud and proud, I feel like I said, it's not like always associated with you being a gay or a lesbian. I feel like it's more often associated with you want attention, which again, not always the
Yeah,
case.
that's not in any way true.
You might just be speaking your mind, like, hey, like this isn't right, and people are like, you want attention. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I feel like there are like good stereotypes as well, and just like funny stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like, like the bisexual stereotypes, like the clothing, and like specifically, I love their stereotypes. Have you heard of them?
No, I have not.
You haven't?
No.
Oh my gosh.
You have to remember, I'm a newly like found bi,
I know. I'm
so
just like they're so popular. The bisexual stereotypes are so popular in the community. So one thing is cuffed everything.
is what everything?
Cuffed everything. Like cuffing your pants, cuffing your sleeves,
Oh
you know.
goodness.
Yeah. That's like one of the big stereotypes. Let's see. For whatever reason, um, like iced coffee is a huge stereotype with bisexuals. I don't know why.
Oh, I thought that was just a stereotype for like the typical white girl in high school.
Well, yes, but apparently it's also bisexual. So, do you like iced
Okay.
coffee?
No, I despise coffee.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're not a true bisexual. I'm kidding.
You know what? Fuck you.
I'm kidding. There is no pansexual stereotypes. I tried to look
Really?
for some, but there's like none. Zip zap nana.
That's
Okay, I just found
interesting.
I
There's no
just
way
found
that's
this.
true.
No, like you can look for yourself, but I'm gonna read this
I'm
article that I
I'm
just found.
I'm
It's called
looking. I'm looking.
it's called How to Dress Like a Bisexual. Number one, the cuffed jean. Number two, the cuffed t-shirt. Number three, the tucked in t-shirt. Number four,
Oh
the
goodness.
Converse slash the Van. What?
Just all of it.
Number five, the outerwear. So like flannels, jean jackets, whatever. Number six, the accessories. Beanies? You know it. Chokers? Of course. And that's it.
So they're basically calling all bi people emo.
No,
Kind of.
not really.
That's what that seems to me, at least.
No.
Or like goth, emo, kind of.
Goth?
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh. You have just insulted me. You have just insulted me. So for those of you who don't know, I identify as goth.
Yeah, and I like to
And
mess with her about it all the time.
yeah,
She
he's
kind of gets
not
pissed off at me about it.
alternative. I get upset when anyone says anything that's like remotely incorrect. I'm like, no, that's not right. Or like when people associate like just the most random thing with alternative people, and I'm like, where did you get that from?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh
But yeah,
goodness. You
have you found
lied.
any
I did.
stereotypes? There is? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I found a
Wait,
Reddit
tell me.
feed.
Oh no.
Um,
Wait, tell me.
okay. So one of these says, I'm not pan myself, but I constantly hear people saying that pan people are just bi people who want to feel special.
No. No.
Oh.
That's not true.
Someone
I'm just
responded and said, could you
lonely.
explain to me why it's not true? Okay. Another
Uh,
another list is pansexuals are attracted to everyone.
nope.
Um, they're only attracted to personality and are body blind.
I'm mostly attracted to personality, but I can be attracted to like
But
what someone looks like.
yeah, but it's not literally just personality, and that's even like
It's
that's only
mostly
you too.
personality,
You
but
know.
yeah. That yeah, I'm like if you're a good person on the inside, we'll get along just fine.
Yeah. And then another one is they can't have preferred stereotypes.
Okay, yeah.
I absolutely despise this one. This is fucking disgusting.
What is it?
But pansexuality includes pedophilia,
N no.
which is in
I'm a
no way
minor.
true.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's not in any way true.
I
That
have
actually kind of pisses me off.
never seen a pedophile. I've actually never seen a pedophile who is sexual.
Yeah, I've
Like I've
never even
only
heard of that. I
seen
don't know where that's
I've
coming from.
I've only seen like gay, lesbian, and straight pedophiles. I've never seen like anything else. And
Yeah.
it's mostly straight.
Um, there's one that is pansexuality is hipster bisexuality.
No.
Nope.
No.
And then the other one on here is pansexuals are way more likely to be into cookie stuff like
Okay.
radical leftism or witchcraft.
You know, I have been looking into Christian witchcraft, but
But
that's
it's
just
you.
me.
Yeah, that's just you.
Yeah, that's just me. I feel like most pansexuals aren't religious, but I feel like that's most of the community as well. Like a
Yeah.
majority of the community. is usually not religious.
Oh.
What?
Apparently, so another person on this Reddit feed said, I used to have a Truscom ex friend who would claim that pansexuality was inherently transphobic.
What?
How does that even
Oh
make
my gosh.
sense?
No.
It doesn't.
Well,
It doesn't even make sense.
we haven't spoken in a while, but you know that I switched schools a
Yeah.
little while ago. And I was in person because like COVID. Like I was online the first semester and the second semester I was in person. And while I was there, I made three friends, all three of which I like have not talked to at all since the end of school.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them was trans, one of them was non-binary, and the other one was cisgender. But we were all a part of the community.
Yeah. That's good that you have friend groups like that too, you know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that. I don't like the fact that some people think that being friends with someone in the community is going to make them turn into someone in the community.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Because part of that makes it seem like a bad thing,
Yeah.
you know, and it's really not. It's most
Like
definitely
we're a
not a bad thing.
disease.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing at all. And then part of it's also like it's not something that you can give away, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yes, after being around someone for a while, you may start acting more like them, but
Hmm.
in no way is it going to something like that going to come from them. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to be something that's always been a part of you, but
Yeah.
just hasn't really manifested or come to realization.
Yeah. The only thing I could see is if you had a friend who was a part of the community and you like had questions and they were explaining and then you realized like, oh, hey, you know.
But even still, it's not coming from them. You know.
Yeah. And to me, that's more just like guidance to accepting yourself.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like stereotypes very much because it's always like, you know, which ones.
I feel like some can be
Some
fun,
can
but
be
others are
fun,
like,
but none of them are
yeah.
really good. You know.
Yeah, no. I think it's funny, like, to make fun of stereotypes as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, lighthearted laughter, you
Yeah,
know?
making fun of stereotypes is like
Hmm.
the entirety of my day.
Or like,
It's just so
like
fun.
over stereotyping. Like,
Yeah.
if you do fall under a stereotype somewhat, and then you're like making fun of yourself.
Yeah, it's just so fun.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Hmm.
So I'm just curious,
Hmm.
what, like, if you could do whatever you wanted without failing, you know, like it would always
Hmm.
end well for you, what would you do?
Flirt.
Do what?
Flirt.
Oh,
Because I am so lonely.
I
And
felt
I
that.
struggle so much. I have such bad social anxiety. It is ridiculous. But if I could, like, so perfectly execute flirting, I would no longer be lonely. It would
I
be great.
felt that. I felt that. Really, that hit deep.
Just
Damn.
if I could have good social skills, that's it. I would be so good.
Goodness gracious. You don't have to hit me like that, damn.
I was going after myself, man. I wasn't targeting no one.
Yeah, but that still was like a direct hit. Like, dang. Was
Well,
that really
that's your own fault.
necessary?
Yes.
I'm so sad now.
Listen, man, at least you were in a relationship.
Yeah, and you saw how that ended for me.
Wait, you know what? Just a fun little side question. How old were you when you had your first kiss?
Oh, I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No.
Oh gosh.
Oh, goodness. Let's see.
Do you remember it at all?
Not really, no.
So it wasn't that special.
Nope. Um, I want to say Um, maybe. Yeah, I have no idea.
You were really thinking about that. You said sh and I was like, please don't say you were like 7.
I was like, I have no idea. Yeah, I was at a loss.
Oh my gosh. My dad was 10 when he had his first kiss, and my mom was 13,
I mean,
and
I feel like
I'm
that's normal.
wait. Yeah, I feel like middle
Yeah.
school is like typically when you have your first kiss. I'm high school and
Yeah, you're
nothing.
just weird. You know, it's because it's you. That's why.
I felt that.
We'll just
Oh
blame it on the
no.
fact that it was you, and that's
Let's
our
just
excuse.
say it was just me.
Yeah,
Nobody's attracted to me.
I felt that. And you
I
can't
always
pull
say
the
it.
at
I'm
least you were
like,
in a relationship crap because you saw how that ended
yeah, but still, someone was remotely attracted to you for at least a little while.
for like 0.5 seconds.
No, for 3 years. Um,
I doubt it, but okay.
no, no one shot any shots. Actually, I lied. There was one dude who approached me once, but he had the worst approach ever.
I'm
It was
curious. You should give us a story time.
story time. So, it was last semester, which for me was in 8th grade. Um, and I was sitting out. Our school had an outside auditorium, and um, like since we had to wear masks all day, our teachers would take us out there so we could like take our off our masks and breathe. Of course, I never did that because I'm insecure and didn't want to show my face to anyone,
Hmm.
but we still went outside.
Even
And
people who
me
know
and
what
my
you look like, you don't show your face to anymore.
yes, no, it's ridiculous. I have no idea what happened. But yeah, so me and my friends were all outside and we were just chit-chatting and the teachers started calling us back in. So I started walking down the stairs to the door that enters the school. And this guy came up to me and he was like, "Hey, do you have Snapchat?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yo, can I have your snap?" And I looked this man up and down and you could just tell he was a basketball player. And I'm not like discriminating against like all basketball players, but like a majority of them are douchebags or players, and sometimes both. Um, but like you could just immediately tell. I had no idea who this guy was. He didn't ask for my name. He didn't introduce himself. He was just like asking to be in contact with me. And I was like, he said, "Can I have your snap?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "Oh," and just walked
Oh,
away back to his friends. And his friends are all sitting there like, "Rejected." And I'm just like, I am so glad I turned that down. Like, first off, he wasn't my type. Second, you
you're
could
just like
tell.
you just like
You
looked him
could
up and down. Was
tell.
like, you know what? You're ugly as fuck. Get out.
No, he wasn't like ugly. But he wasn't my type, and you could tell, like, he really didn't
Yeah,
care. Like, there was no, like, I might be picky, but I want a committed relationship.
yeah.
I don't want
I
just
know.
like
I had
something small.
I had at one point during middle school, I had someone come up to me and literally was like, "Hey, like you want to go out with me?" And it was like, "No." They were like,
Who
"Okay,
are
good,"
you?
because it was a date for my friends, and I'm like, "The hell
Oh!
would you do that for?" Like,
Thank God you said no.
yeah, and like the hilarious thing about that whole thing was their friends literally admitted to making it a dare, and I'm like, "Holy fuck!" Like, why you gotta do that to me?
You know it's bad when people dare someone to ask you
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You know it's bad. Oh my gosh.
And my
So
self
yeah.
esteem went meow.
No visuals needed.
Yeah, because everybody knows what the hell that means.
Yep. Yep. Hmm. So yeah, anyone who's shot their shot with me, like terrible approach hasn't worked. You could tell they were not
Yeah,
looking for like me, they were just looking for something.
they were
So,
looking like to get something out of you,
Yeah.
you know,
But I'm
not
like, this
but
is
not
not
you.
okay. Yeah, I think I've had like two people approach me, and like one guy come up to me and was like, "Hey, you're attractive," and I was like, "Hey, go away," and I walked away. But
I feel
like
like you're just like, if anybody like compliments you, you're like, you're an asshole.
I'm not like you're terrible, but I'm like I don't handle compliments well.
Yeah.
Like my parents compliment me, and I'm like, "Shut up.
I
Stop
remember I used
lying."
to compliment you all the time a while back, and you were like, get the fuck out. And I was like, no.
It was more than likely about like I was being hard on myself for like my instrument playing abilities, and you're
Yeah.
like, you're not doing bad. And I was probably like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, you literally would insult yourself, and I'm like, you're doing so much better than every other person that I have seen attempt this.
I'm just hard on myself. I set such high standards. And like I said, can't handle compliments well. I've
Yeah.
had so many people. They're like, when I'm like, I don't like the way that I look, they're like, why? You're pretty. And I'm like, you are lying. You are a
Oh,
liar. But it's like you would think with the amount of people that say that, like I would believe it, but no.
oh yeah,
I look in the mirror and I'm like, ew.
yeah. You know, I was talking with a friend of mine, and they were like,
Hmm.
you know, I'm not like I'm bi because I have another friend that's bi, and they were like, yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm bi, but like nobody that I'm attracted to is my age. Like they're all
Yep.
like way too young for me or way too old for me, and I'm like,
What?
I felt that on a deep level.
It's never that they're too young. It's always that they're too old.
Well, see, my friend's my age, and the people that are too young are like also in high school.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. I'm
like
like
not young
the
young, but like
okay. You had me concerned for a second.
they're like 2 or 3 years younger.
Oh, that's not super
It,
bad.
it's not too bad. It's just not
It's
their
still like,
preference, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. At least for while you're in high school. Like
Yeah,
once you're in college, it's like age gap, no big deal. But
kind of.
it's like
Yeah.
in high school, yeah.
I mean, I can tell you just given the fact that I'm doing college stuff right now, it's very, very different. Like, just the
Oh
whole
yeah.
thing is just so different.
Hmm.
You know, it's like you kind of get to choose what you're doing when, and it gives you a lot of freedom
Absolutely, yeah.
compared to, like with high school and all that. You
I
kind
feel
of
like
just
you
stuck.
also get to like pick your friends for the first
Oh,
time.
absolutely,
Whereas like
yeah.
in school, you have like that
You
set
just yeah, you kind
people.
of
It's
have
like you're
those
going to
like
be with these
classes that you
people
yeah,
for the rest of your school career. So you just got to pick the ones that will
pick the
tolerate
decent ones
you.
out of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
pick the
Pick
ones
the
that won't
ones that
completely
you
fuck
will
you over,
that yes, pick them, spend those couple years with them, promise that you'll stay in contact and
and then
then
don't
never
get them.
talk to
Yeah,
them
and
again.
then never
Yep.
talk to them. Yeah.
Hmm. I feel so bad because like this friend group, I was like, y'all are such great people, but we just haven't talked.
So that's what happened to me um, in middle school when I switched schools. Like I
Hmm.
had this big old friend group, super great, and then not a single one of them talked to me since then.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about
Yeah.
that because you were like really upset.
Yeah, I'm like I'm not big on reaching out.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
that's more of a like
I
if you
feel like
start a
I'm bothering
conversation,
people
I'll
when I do
continue
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's part of the anxiety is like I feel like if I talk to people, then I'm annoying them. But if they talk to me, then it's okay to talk back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard to make friends.
Oh, I felt that.
It's so hard.
All right, so we're gonna end it off here. This is a pretty decent
That was
introduction.
a
I
good
think.
first
I
episode.
don't think it was too
Yeah.
bad.
Way better than the
Um,
first attempt.
oh yeah, absolutely. Hopefully
Oh my
y'all,
gosh.
kind of learned some stuff. Hopefully you got to know us a little bit better.
Thank you for
Um,
tuning in.
yeah, feel free, like, in the about section of this YouTube channel, feel free to go in, and there should be a link to our Discord. Um, go ahead, join that if you like. You're always
If we
welcome.
know you personally, we might have you on as a guest, just so you know.
Yeah. Um, but you're always welcome to, give us any suggestions. Reach
Hmm.
out to us. I think it means a lot, to us. We'd love to hear from you, get your opinions, your thoughts on stuff. So, by all
Your
means,
feedback like really
yeah,
does mean a lot,
yeah, it
yeah.
really does because we're new to this. Um,
Any advice we can get, we'll take it.
yeah, absolutely.
Anything you want to hear from us, any advice you have to give on how to improve, like literally anything, even if it's just a stupid question that you
Yeah,
want answered,
yeah,
like
and
we
even
will
if
answer it.
yeah, and so in our Discord we actually have a section literally specifically for advice and
Yeah.
introductions.
Hmm.
If you have, something that you'd like advice on that we may be able to answer, go ahead, post it in there. We'll go ahead and talk about it.
Hmm.
And even feel free to in that chat, even, if you have a story or something, story that you
Yeah,
want shared, something that you think may help other people, by all means, share that. Um, I mean, we'd love to incorporate you all in some of these episodes.
absolutely. Yeah. We are really dragging this out. This is a
Yeah.
conclusion. We are trying to stop. Okay. Thank you all so much, like so much for tuning in. It really means a lot. Please join the Discord. We'd love to hear from you all.
Yeah,
And with
absolutely.
that being said, I guess this is where we leave.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.